In this series, we're focusing on innovation in green local energy with our 4 experts, Marilyn Waite, Dr. Thomas Hillig, Leslie Labruto, and Liana Alt. It's week 3 of our Real Action series, and we're checking in with our team of experts as they continue their collaboration.
Something I was particularly impressed by with the group is the importance of thinking about different stakeholders and what their view is going to be on the development of microgrids. And we've really recognized that there are different motivations for different groups of people for wanting to adopt microgrids.
I'm here in London to meet with Leslie Labruto. Leslie is a venture philanthropy and investment specialist.
I was trained as an engineer, and I love thinking about technology, which is an integral part to thinking about microgrids. But as I've gone on in my career, I've been on the investing side, and now I'm thinking a lot about policy to solve solutions. The thing that I find most exciting about clean energy is depending on natural resources like the wind and the sun that are in abundant supply that aren't dependent on who's exporting what. And it gives countries, nations, communities their own independent future for how they want to power their own community. If we have the right people around the table, like the experiment we're running here, we can show a model for how this could be replicated in rural communities, in more urban communities. And one by one, if we start seeing this energy transition and it's working, we're going to see models for adoption around the world. If we can solve this problem, we could think about ways we can start taking the solution to those communities and seeing people access power for the first time in their lives.
We've decided to look at something that no one's actually kind of really focused on right now, which was how we could take a microgrid and potentially use 100% renewable power sources to power that microgrid for a specific community or local geography overall. Who would like to start here in our discussion today?
If we have this mission statement, actually, there is not a single, or there are hardly any 100% renewable microgrids. So I think in the end, if we have a look at the bigger picture, climate change.
So the status quo of microgrids today is not one of clean energy. And it's important that we ensure that we implement green, clean, emissions-free microgrid solutions. So that means solar, wind, battery storage, electric vehicles with charging, and also, of course, heat pumps with cooling and heating capabilities that will actually enable not just microgrids, but green microgrids.
I'd say to meet the demands of the 21st century and build the grid that we want of today and not the grid of the 1930s, smart meters and smart controls are the way to do this. So we can actually balance out supply and demand and have these systems talk to one another.
In this situation, as long as there is connectivity within that community and back to whoever the operational entity is for that microgrid, that's going to be the key point.
I think in many cases, it's a trade-off of adding local energy storage or increasing the grid capacity.
So we have generation, we have storage, and we have demand. And for all 3 of those, we have to have the where. We also have to have the who, right, in terms of the demand. For what use? Is it residential? Is it for industry? Is it for lightweight manufacturing? What are the use cases? And of course, what are the community needs?
Thinking about growth and making sure that this system is scalable, since population growth will probably occur, just making sure there's modularity in terms of ability to increase the size of the system.
Any thoughts on what the actual final output could look like?
I keep thinking about how many people want to do something more. They know there are things out there, but they don't even know how to get started. So I think a playbook, I think that that would be really beneficial for communities that are looking to do this, especially from a residential community that maybe has industrial players that they want to engage and don't know how.
So just thinking about next steps, I will be checking in with you to have a look at the output that you've made and what the potential solution is to be able to create real action.